24 minutes after 8 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from the Chaves County Sheriff's Department, of course, Sheriff Mike Herrington and Undersheriff Charles Yslas back with us. Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing great. How was the Thanksgivings? I haven't talked to you.
It was good.
Since before Thanksgiving.
Holidays were good.
Good deal.
You know, we're on this keto diet, so you have
a lot of turkey and no potatoes.
Right,
none of the good stuff.
So I've been doing this thing.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, we had a good Thanksgiving lunch at our office as well. And
good
so
deal.
we and then at home was fantastic. Had all the family and everybody come over. But the community was great. Didn't have any real big problems other than, you know, the homicide.
Sure.
We did have that. But
Well, and the holidays always bring that anyway. It's when anytime there's families getting together, domestic violence, drinking, alcohol, drugs, all that goes up.
Families that don't normally get together.
Sure.
And they do.
And speaking of that, you know, because we did have the homicide and things like that, it's important for me to tell you how dedicated and how hard workers my detectives and my patrolmen are. You know, they're out there working, and when something like that happens, they're called away from their families, and they're out there working hard, and they did a fantastic job on this case. And it's just a sad thing to see, but we live in crazy times right now.
Sure,
especially whenever a son kills a mom. That's, you know, you just think on
kinda
Thanksgiving
wild.
Day, that's pretty crazy.
And unfortunately, as the sheriff's department, any law enforcement, you know, they want to help and resolve situations, but in scenarios like that, the best case scenario is we have closure.
Yes.
You know, it's a bad deal either way.
Yeah.
People's lives were lost. No one's going to be happy about that. But at the very least, we have an answer on what happened, how it happened, and that allows the process of healing and moving on to begin too, which, you know,
it takes time
that's the
for
consolation. You know, as a sheriff's department, you're like, hey, we're sorry, we feel for you, but at the end of the day, we have a job to do.
Yeah.
And this is what we can do, is do our job properly to help you.
It's six ways one, half a dozen the other. You either have, you know, unfortunately for this family, they have the closure, but it was a family member that did that to a family member.
Sure.
Or
Just two losses.
is it the non-closure of never knowing who did that and it be a random incident? And so exactly.
Yeah. At least, because at least if it's a non-family member, that they rally to, you know
together,
what I mean? Together to hate. But now it's civil war. It's family member versus family member.
Family split.
And, you know, since then we've had several other incidents happen. We had the incident that happened out on Country Club and Brown Road that appears to be a random type of shooting
scenario,
possibly a carjacking or something. And we're investigating that, and we're going to catch that person who shot that individual. And luckily for us, the victim didn't pass, survived the injuries, and we are working that case at full speed ahead, and we're going to catch whoever it was. And like I said, there's technology out there right now that is unbelievable, and it's going to put that person right on the scene.
If it's the one I'm thinking about, that's the one on, was it like Sycamore or something?
Brown Road and Country Club.
Country Club, that's where it was.
Brown and Country Club.
Yeah, I remember hearing, because I actually know some of the people, the victims on that side.
Right, yes.
And
so
that one, when I heard that story, I was like, man, this sounds like something out of Detroit or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like something here in Chaves County.
Exactly.
And, I'm glad that, and to be honest, not that I'm trying to make a proponent or anything. I know for a fact the victim here was armed and everything else, and that probably saved that person's life at the end of the day, from what I'm hearing and things like that. I don't know all the details and all that.
Being very much aware saved his life.
But
So.
you know, again, going back to that, being a good steward of as a firearm owner, things like that, continuing that trail is the path to lowering crime and doing those kind by, you know, relying on the police to do their job and protect us, but at the same time, don't make yourself a victim either. And
or allow yourself to be a victim.
Yeah. You know, and make it less desirable for you to be someone that can be a victim. And that's because we've said this 100 times. Criminals do crime of convenience. Even your violent ones, you know, and generally a lot of times is what happens. It's a robbery gone bad. Is somebody walked in or somebody, you know, things happen, and that's usually. So
they want the easiest path.
Exactly.
That's all.
So,
it is, so
if you're making it as hard as possible to make it easy, then You're doing the best you can to protect you and your family.
And then we had the incident out by Walmart that sent everybody into a panic, thinking there was an
the car
active
chase
shooter
one.
inside the Walmart. And the best thing that I saw happen that night was all agencies came together, worked together quickly to, I got there and I put it on Facebook immediately and let people know, hey, it's not happening in Walmart.
Right.
This is a serious incident that's going on outside of it.
And I think what caused the confusion is at one point there was a thought that one of the suspects had fled into Walmart.
Yes.
That was later debunked, basically.
Right.
No, they
was that confirmed?
Yeah,
okay, that was confirmed.
They did.
Okay.
Yeah, and so no one was armed. Everyone was unarmed. They were just leaving the scene of where someone was just shooting at them as well.
Gotcha.
So they were getting out of there. But it's good that they went in, and I'll tell you, Walmart, Sam's, the mall, everybody did exactly what they're supposed to do. Went into a lockdown, but when the word got out there, it had to be quelled as quick as we possibly could because people were driving down Main Street trying to get to where their family members are.
Heavily populated. It was during rush hour times.
Yeah, and they were
A lot of people worked
putting
there.
people at risk. So we had to get it out there as quick as we could to say, hey, everybody in Walmart's fine, everybody in Sam's is fine. The individual who was doing the majority actually was targeting the other individual, was shot, and but that was down by Berendo Elementary School, not at the Walmart.
Yeah.
So,
and that's where I was saying, which could have been a little bit of a blessing in disguise, if this happened, say, 3-4 hours earlier when that school's in session. That would have made this a whole lot different animal. In a weird sort of way, we were fortuitous that this happened later, 4 or 5 o'clock, as opposed to 2, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, exactly.
And that's one of the things that we look at. And, the schools have a good system in place. Like I said, Walmart, everybody else, they did a good thing. But we just had to make sure that we calmed people down because everything was over. It had to get back to driving the speed limit coming down Main Street. Don't be running red lights. Don't be trying to come out there to where your family is. And we've seen this other times in our history or my time here when we had the Berendo Middle School shooting. There were more people causing accidents coming down Main Street.
Sure.
And everything was already over.
Trying to get to their family members.
Yeah, trying to worry about
or
their
get something
scenario.
on Facebook. And
I understand, especially the Berendo. Your kids there. It's game, but you're doing more harm than good by doing that because the people that are qualified, trained, and the ones that are going to make the situation right, you're hurting their opportunities to get the job.
One of the things that we've learned from active shooters all over this country is that whenever you have looky-loos that are going up or people showing up at the scene, the ambulances can't get to the scene.
Yeah.
The fire trucks can't get to the scene. So you have to remember you getting there to see what is going on is impeding life-saving measures for everybody else.
You're costing people's lives by doing that. So I get it. Curiosity kills the cat, worried about something because you've created a scenario, whatever it is, or if it's real. But please do, hopefully you never have to worry about this stuff. But if you do, think about that. Same thing with driving on Main Street here and stuff. If you see emergency vehicles going, they're always going to be in that passing lane.
Yeah. And it's called the pullover law.
So if you are on, say, Main Street, because that's where it's most commonly happening, you're driving in that left lane and you're seeing emergency vehicles coming hard up on you, get out of the left lane.
And unless something's happening on somewhere on Main or right off of Main, we try to avoid Main if we're having to run code.
Sure.
And that's for the safety of the public as well as the safety of the deputy.
Yeah.
It's a lot
People
easier to go around than it is to go through.
But sometimes you don't get that luxury. You have to do it.
And Main Street is a direct access for us from the sheriff's office to north. If it's something that's on the east or west side of it, we can hit the relief route, or we can hit.
Or you got to leave the county, go up to Baca there. You're heading out that way.
Yeah,
exactly.
And so yes, we do use Main Street a lot, and one of the things, and just like I have to tell my deputies, you have to remember that whenever someone is getting ready to pull out of McDonald's, they're not looking at who's coming down the road. They got their hand in the bag, trying to sneak a fry to get down, and they're
making sure they got all their food. Yeah,
they're going to pull out and not even hear you or see you because they got the radio on. They're focused on making sure their drink's not spilling, whatever it may be, and you're going to crash.
Yeah,
and you're no good if you crash.
I think I was telling you this a couple months ago. We were. Just the same thing. I was pulling out of a drive-through to go to turn on to Main there, and I wasn't a police officer. It was an early Sunday morning or something. So I went, but I was going to turn, and I was doing the same thing, kind of looking, making sure. And then I went to turn right, and sure enough, there's a kid on a bicycle.
Oh, yeah.
In the middle of the road, driving the wrong way. And I started, and I slammed on the brakes. And I'm like, holy crap, he's right here.
There are more pedestrians.
Like, what are you doing, dummy? Get out of the road.
If you notice, we have a lot more pedestrians and a lot more bicycles out now.
Yeah.
And they don't always wear bright clothing, especially at night. And you'll go to make a turn, and all of a sudden they're there, and they're looking at you, and you're looking at them. And, ooh.
And they look at you like you're it's like, wait a minute, you're on the road going the wrong way, but still, you're the one at fault because you're the driver.
Right.
You're the one who's supposed to be in control of things.
You got to watch it. Texting and driving.
Yeah.
Because they look and they don't see any cars, so they're texting, and you got a jogger on the side of the road or a person on a bicycle or whatever it may be, you're going to run them over.
Yeah.
And that's dangerous. But I also want to talk to you about one of the things that we did this last weekend that I thought was by Main Street Roswell that I thought was a success was on the courthouse lawn. They did the Christmas tree lighting thing.
Yeah, last Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
Friday night.
But then they also, and I'm telling you, I want to look into seeing what we have to do to get donations or something like that to get that movie screen back out there.
Amazing.
To watch those people sitting there. You got over 100 people sitting there.
They were showing the Grinch, I think.
Yeah,
right?
It was the Grinch, but they brought their own snacks.
Yeah.
They had their own stuff, and they
their
sat
blankets,
there,
their chairs.
And it was amazing to me to see people just sitting there like they were in a drive-in movie theater.
It was neat.
I did drive by there because I was working late here Friday, and then we had dinner, and then I went by there, and you're right. Yeah, they were just quietly watching. And
he and I were walking around, and we were talking. It looks like a drive-in.
Yeah,
that was great.
But it was impressive to me to see all these people come together, kids still being able to do what they wanted to do, but they were sitting there and they were fixed on that screen. And this is a movie that's been out, everyone's seen it 1,000 times.
Sure.
But what I liked was it brought the community together. It brought this to an outside event, which was I just really thought that was a great thing.
Yeah,
and
really neat.
The sheriff's office was there. We made sure that everything was good.
Yeah.
But you didn't have to do anything because it was a very peaceful and enjoyable event for these people.
Yeah, you're just giving directions, or people are like, hey, where's this? It's over here.
I just told them, hey.
The Coco's over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's all you guys had to do that night.
And then the next day when we did the Christmas light parade thing, I will tell you that there were more people show up to that than I thought was going to show up.
That was because there was
amazing.
When I went by like 6, 7, and I think they were cars from the convention center back past college. I mean, they were
all the way
to
past
Nimmy.
Yeah, past Nimmy. Yeah, they were.
And they went in and they would snake several rows.
Yeah, they probably had 1,000 cars go through there at least.
There was more than that.
More than that.
I was right.
We know he was the entrance. I was the exit.
Well, I want to tell you,
we were back to back.
We were standing there, and there were so many cars.
Yeah.
But here's what was impressive to me as well: the people. It wasn't about the going around looking at the lights inside the light parade itself. It was 3.5 hours in the car with your family and
in line.
I'm going to tell you, the majority, if not 99% of the people pulling up there were happy.
Really?
And they were
ready to kill each other yet?
We had people saying they were singing, they were talking, they were doing whatever else.
Love it.
And to me, that was impressive because, like you said, 3.5 hours. You could have drove to Albuquerque.
Yeah.
And
stop touching me.
Yeah, stop touching me. I got to use the bathroom. I got to do this. and what we learned from that is that because we didn't expect, you never know. Anytime you hold an event, and we know this from whenever I was campaigning, you never know how many people are going to show.
You may get
hope
10, you
to
may
God
get
somebody
1,000.
shows.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're just praying somebody shows.
Doesn't
right?
embarrass you, like two
Yeah,
guys
you
in
got all
there.
these
Yeah.
hot dogs or something.
And-
You're saying,
Trust me, I'm in radio. I know all about that.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, it was car after car.
They didn't
after
end.
car.
That's great.
And even coming up on from 5:30 to 10 o'clock at night, whenever they finally had to shut it down and say, "Hey, people are Santa Claus is tired, right?"
Yeah. Gotta get his
But
nap.
you seen the line was still
at 10 o'clock,
Coming.
we still had 97 cars
Yes.
in line.
So it was to me though, watching this and seeing it. This is something that this city needs.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that the Main Street Roswell put something like
Yeah,
that
they did a
on.
great job.
That was really
working this
neat.
event, and
Yeah.
I imagine lessons learned is,
Yeah,
hey,
you learn
we need to
We need to set
plan
up
for
a
more
path.
vehicles, and
Yeah.
we got to figure
You
out an
know-
overspill here.
you know,
or
something like that is amazing. Not
Yeah.
just for Christmas. That would work for Halloween.
Sure.
It would work for little trunk or treat type deals.
Yeah.
You know, like a drive-through thing.
Yeah.
It is amazing.
But you know, the one thing that people were telling me is, hey, people were cutting in to line, or people were allowing other people to get there. Well, we're used to that already because we have the fair here.
Right.
Yeah.
You
Welcome
can be
to
in the line at the Ferris wheel or whatever ride,
Uh-huh.
and one family walks up and allows 20 other people in front. It takes you 2.5 hours to ride
Yeah.
one ride.
And you get the
on a
dirty
busy
looks
night.
there,
Yeah,
just like you do here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got the, and so we've got to perfect it somehow.
Yeah.
But I can tell you,
Little
Main
things to
Street
iron
Roswell.
That's a winner. It's
Main
a winner of
Street
an
Roswell
idea. It's
did
a winner of an
fantastic
event.
job doing
It
this,
was.
and all the volunteers that were there, everybody who
oh yeah,
participated,
they worked
it
themselves.
was
Yeah.
good.
Well, I saw a
did.
bunch of pictures and the
Yeah.
lights. The public did an amazing job
Yeah.
of their Christmas
With their displays
and
and stuff like
everything.
that.
Yeah. And definitely, and whether they stick with this for next year or go back to the actual parade, whatever we do here, it sounds like
Either
it's
one
on the
are
table.
successful.
Yeah.
it's gonna be a good thing
It's-
here.
This was better than nothing.
And
it was great.
What I got to see during this,
Yeah.
I'm talking about for the Christmas parade, not the regular parade. There was maybe 12 floats or vehicles
Lit
or
up
whatever,
vehicles or
lit
whatever.
up vehicles that would have been in that parade.
Gotcha.
It's like the Veterans Parade, and it saddens me to see that not many people go out for that. But it's so short, people just don't go.
Yeah.
And
But the people that do go are very passionate.
No,
I
no,
love
that's
those
what I'm
folks.
saying.
Yeah,
So
they're great
100%.
people.
But
Yeah.
what happened during this event was curiosity
Yeah.
killed the cat.
And I imagine too.
And they showed
Once
up.
you get in line,
Yeah.
this is the thing about the 3-hour getting along. You don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Because I laughed with a lot of families coming out because we stood back to back and the entrance and the exit were in the same area.
Yeah.
They'd come in and greet the sheriff and he'd direct them in, and then they'd come out and I'd talk to them on the way out and tell them which way to go out, or they could go over with Santa and get pictures or whatnot. And we'd kind of laugh back and forth. But I told them, I said, so how was it? They said, oh, it was great. I said, about an hour and a half through, you were probably thinking, oh, if I could get out of this line, right?
I could
They said-
escape,
They
but
said,
yeah.
yeah, but then it actually, we didn't have any choice but
It was worth sticking
Yeah.
through it.
and,
Yeah.
and afterwards
And-
they were like thrilled.
Yeah, and
It
really,
was really neat.
Like I said, it was just amazing to me because I seen all the kids. I seen from the youngest of kids to the oldest of people.
Yeah.
were there.
That anticipation probably made the juice a little
It
sweeter
does.
for them when they
Yeah,
go through.
Yeah, it was. It was really good. So,
Yeah.
and for me as the sheriff, I believe that a police presence has to be there. That's why we're
Sure.
there.
Well, it's a community event.
It's a community
and you're there
event.
being
And-
a part of it. And this
Yeah.
is that. And to be honest, and you know this, and
Yeah.
way better than I do, but that's where you do your real policing, your
That's
real
where you
community
do it.
policing. That's where
That's
you're
right,
talking
yeah.
to kids, talking to the public.
Talking to everybody.
They're seeing you guys in a light that
Talking.
isn't. Please lean up against the car with your hands
Yeah.
behind your
It's a
back.
simple saying.
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah.
not a people person, don't do a people person job.
Exactly.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had Juliana Halverson tells me, stop talking to people. We got to get them through. but you gotta talk when they're talking.
I
We
We were enjoying talking to people too much, I guess.
The fact that you mentioned that, Sheriff, I know for a fact he's been told that by multiple people at multiple, because I'm with
have a
Historical
text.
Society, and
I have
I've
one to
heard
prove
we're
it,
going through the
yes.
lines, and they're like, and there's Amy yelling at the sheriff, "Will you shut up, please, so these guys can go through?"
Yeah, that's right.
She told him, and then about an hour later, she comes over to me. She goes, "Just tell
Charles,
him
you're not
Come
helping."
on,
Yeah, you're not
get
helping.
them. We're getting backed up." I said, "Yeah, but I know a lot of these people.
Well,
and
and they all
they're
know
visiting,
you,
you
so
know."
what are you gonna do?
Yeah, when they're talking,
Got you
you're
a
gonna
candy
talk.
cane, and the sheriff got you this.
Yeah,
got you,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
and-
So it was
And when
good.
you're a deputy or a sheriff here,
Yeah, that's what I said.
people come
It's a-
talk to you. You
you're-
can't ignore them.
It's a people
I said,
person.
baby,
It's the job.
That's
That's what I
right.
told her. I said, maybe not a good idea to put me at the front entrance. I said, because it's going to be. But as it was going, though, it went really good. And
It was-
I'm
it was
very
awesome.
Maybe they
thankful
should
for
put a
her.
bunch of lights in you and make you as part of the
We
display.
need, we need some of those.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
need some
Hey,
cutouts.
hey, if you're listening, our sheriff and deputies need a matching
Yeah.
big flat mic
That's
here
right.
for
That's
their
right.
Yeah,
needs
that's
here.
right.
If you can help us out
Yeah.
there, that'd
All
be
three
really
of us
great.
will be in here and with the cutout.
Yeah, so it's been really good in the community policing that we're doing, and the getting out there and visiting with the people, and we have had so many crimes solved because people now feel as though they can trust us and
Sure.
they can call us and talk to us.
You're like, hey, I'm going to give you the street
Yeah,
scoop.
absolutely.
There's no,
And
we're just
and
trying to
it's
here to
fantastic.
make the problem go away or at least
Yeah.
be resolved.
Yeah.
And the reality is we need the public to solve crime.
Yeah.
It's that simple. And we need to be approachable for the public to talk to us to solve crime.
Well, and to be honest, that's where that relationship in we talk, and I'm getting a little philosophical here, but when we talk about relationships between the public and police and
Community police.
and we all watch, all of us have the image of watching insert crime
Right.
TV drama here, and that's how it goes. And it's like,
Andy Griffith Show.
yeah, it's like yes and no. Yes
Yeah.
and no. I mean, yes, that's a
Right.
microcosm where they're human
Yeah.
beings and they talk with you and interact with you, but at the same time, that it's that mindset of I'm the judge and you're the accused here, and that's not how policing
No.
is.
No.
It's a person coming up on the scene. What's the problem? How can we fix the problem right now? And if there is wrongdoing, then we'll
Yep.
sort that out later. But first things first,
Yep.
let's make sure everybody's safe, secure, and good to go.
That's
The
right.
best police officers and the best detectives go in with an open mind. You never form an opinion until you see all the facts.
Sure.
And do more
And-
listening than
and-
you
yeah.
do talking.
Yep. So that's one of the things, like I told
It's-
my guys, is that if you get there and you've already got your mind made up, you need to turn it over to this other individual because
That's it.
you're gonna miss out on key evidence.
Sure. If you listen to a scientist, and a scientist and a police officer have a lot of the same mantra there, and scientists are like, well, how are you going to solve? How are you going to create this thing? Or is it I go where the science takes me? And
Right.
so they're like,
That's the evidence.
is COVID bad for you? I don't know. What's the science take me? I'm going to go
Right.
down that, and so I'll answer that question when I go down. Police work's no different. Who's guilty here? I don't know. I got to
We'll see
talk
where
to
the evidence
everybody.
takes us.
Where does the evidence take me? And I'll
That's
tell
right.
you when I figure that out. But
That's right.
and that's all they're doing
Yeah.
is seeing where the story and the evidence takes them to where the story goes
That's
here.
exactly
and,
right.
and that's all the officer is trying to do is put that picture
Yeah,
together.
we're not taking sides. We're there to sort it out,
Yeah.
figure out what's going on, and then we go from there. But that's something that's important to us. And I hired on 2 new deputies this last Monday. I've got both of them came from the Roswell Police Department at one time, and I'll tell you what, I've got some great deputies.
They're doing phenomenal jobs.
They are out there. They're doing a fantastic job. They're getting out there, and I just had one that just graduated from the New Mexico Law Enforcement Academy. She scored the highest in her class. She did a
Nice.
fantastic job, and she's going to be a great asset here. She's
Great.
also got a lot of patience because she was a school teacher for a long time.
Oh, wow.
So that makes her even a
Absolutely.
better asset.
Yep.
So
She's probably going to be a very mentor type
Yes.
on the streets out there.
So
And
She's doing a
we've
great
got
job.
That's
some
great.
good people out there, and so I'm looking here in the near future. I would like to get another canine. I would like to actually get a couple more canines.
Okay.
And that way we can have different shifts. And my DWI guys,
Sure.
and all them. Now you're not only looking for. And we don't look for marijuana, but you got other things that are going
Yeah.
on all over the place. You got
You still have fentanyl that's out there
Yeah.
in
Well,
abundance.
heroin and
it's
9 times
killing
out of 10
people left and
nowadays.
right.
Yeah.
So-
Can I ask it? This is more of a philosoph or a question about tactics, some kind of thing.
Yeah.
When you talk about dogs and things.
Yeah.
I know obviously you guys are leaning and getting dogs for drug sniffing and things like that, but But being the county, and we got a lot of vast area, I mean, do you guys look at getting a search and rescue type dog as well?
They
Part
can
of that?
be trained as that.
They can be trained in tracking.
I always understood there were like two different dogs.
No.
And, no, one's not
They
good
can
for
be
the other. But,
multiple trained.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dual trained.
Because I'm thinking you don't need them very often,
Well,
as many as you do the drug dogs.
Right.
However,
We've had some.
there's
incidents.
probably maybe once or twice a month where you could probably need a dog to track down a suspect or look for a missing person, or something like that. Yeah.
And like I said, it even goes farther than that. It goes, like I said, we don't want the attack dogs.
Gotcha.
We just don't.
Those
want
are the
that.
ones that are trained to be more if a suspect's running to go chase them.
But because of our going into the schools and looking for drugs and things like that, I just don't want anything that's going to bite anybody.
Sure.
We don't want a kid to get bit or anything like that. So maybe later down the road, as things start getting a little more, we get more manpower or whatever, maybe I might get a couple of those for patrol.
Get one of those old bloodhounds like we see in the movies. You know, the one that looks like Flash
from the old prison.
Yeah, looks like Flash from the Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah.
You know, he's not going to harm a fly, but can
a hound dog.
Yeah, but can hunt down a smell in a snowstorm. You know what I mean? That's what.
Yeah, the one from Smoking the Bandit.
Yeah, exactly.
Bo. There you go.
Get you one of them.
So we're looking at doing that. We're also looking to get our school resource officers back into place, and we've got a lot of things going that we want to get underway.
That's a good sign, because I imagine that stuff went away because of staffing, and it just life happens. So now that you guys are starting to get more sheriff's deputies applying, getting back into the fold here, now we can start ramping back up and doing the things that were kind of ancillary. More folks back at the courthouse, more folks out in schools, things like that.
And on that note, we are always accepting applications. You can go to chavescounty.com.
Mm-hmm.
It is on the Chaves County website. It is a general application.
Okay.
You can print it out, bring it back in, drop it off at the county manager suite inside the rotunda, or you can email it back to HR. All the directions are on there.
Okay.
You can electronically sign it. It takes about 3 to 5 business days for HR to send it over to me.
Okay.
Once I get it, I will review it. But we are always actively taking applications, and we do have some positions to fill.
And we're going to be testing here in about 10 minutes at the Wool Bowl.
Okay. Well, we'll let you go get to that here.
Yeah.
But when's like that? Because the classes only happen certain times a year. When's the next? So if you've got recruiters going now,
there's two classes during the year for the academy.
So if you're applying now, you're trying to get in for the January class.
That's right.
We're trying.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
I know you're probably a little bit behind the 8 ball if you start right now, but we can get her done.
Yes,
we
and
can
what
make
we
it
want,
happen.
Yeah, and what we want people to understand is it's a process.
Mm-hmm.
We do lose a couple of people because they think it's similar to applying at another business, a smaller business.
Gotcha.
You go in, you fill out an application, and they call you back, and you do a UA, and you're done.
Yeah.
But with this type of job, there is a process. There's a physical, there's a psychological, there's the background. So we ask the applicants, and we tell them, we do an interview. Be patient.
And that's even before you get to the training.
If you don't hear from us for 2 or 3 weeks, we haven't forgotten about you. We're getting your work done.
Sure. It just takes time. It's glacial on some of that.
And we have to make sure we're getting the best.
We want a good applicant.
And I would imagine, too, some of the background, some of the stuff, you have to rely on outside resources, which you're beholden to their time to do all that kind of stuff. So,
and because it is such a thorough background investigation, we do have to make sure that when we bring somebody on, there's no baggage, or nothing that's going to be there. So it's
one of those things, and it's true in any way. Obviously, people do things, and there's no amount of screening in the world that can guarantee 100%
what someone's going to do later.
But to do later, however, you guys can get a very good idea of how someone ticks by just looking through that and say, okay, it's they're clean or whatever, but or if they do have some kind of history here, you can follow that trail and say, all right, there's the tendencies here. If we do hire this person, this is what we got to look out
for.
Patterns
kind of
and
things like that.
We're going to be releasing our other officer involved shooting video here coming up pretty soon.
All right. So check the Facebook page for that one. It's ready.
Watch that. It'll be coming up this coming week.
Okay.
Yeah. Always follow the Chaves County Sheriff's Office Facebook page. One thing I will tell you is if anybody knows how to work Facebook, now that it's got this new deal.
It's above your pay grade now.
It really is.
I don't even log on.
I'm not a Facebook guy.
But we have so many followers on there, and I also spread it to different pages. But now I can't figure out how to share it to those other pages, because if it doesn't pop up in the share, then you can't share it to those individuals. So I've got a lot to do on that. But
I don't know if this is going to be helpful or not, but when I have those kind of questions, I talk to that man in that room right over there.
The guy that's running all the buttons.
I talk to that
all
guy.
The computer stuff.
So maybe before you guys head out here, grab a sandwich and pick his brain a little bit and see if he can help you.
I can tell you, I've got 3 sites, and we try to get it all out there. And my gosh, I should have never clicked on that. I messed that up, boy. I was like, man, I tried everything to go back and.
When you have your kids or your grandkids setting your watch for you, you're not a computer guy.
But we do have some good things on there, and every day we're putting it out there. I just put out the latest pictures from November's DWI arrest. We did all the arrests the guys have done, and just lots of stuff. Pictures. We've got lots of accidents happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
The holidays are here. Yeah, so please be careful. If you traveling on 380 east going to Tatum, be careful on that highway. Road. Even though it may look clear, you start to pass, and here comes one up from a dip that you didn't even know was there.
And they're all high speeds. People. Everyone's doing 70 mile an hour plus on that.
100 miles an hour. Yeah.
So 70 is the speed limit, guys.
70 is the speed limit.
The sun is in your eyes when you're leaving in the morning. The sun is in your eyes when you're getting back. So be very careful.
Be careful on those, and know that we're doing everything we can to try to get that to be at least get some passing lanes, or a 2-lane or a 4-lane out there, actually. But it's just that time of year where people are traveling, and we want to make sure everybody is around to
enjoy the holidays.
And be warned, law enforcement will be on patrol during the holiday season, making sure you're not texting and driving, drinking and driving.
We are running saturation patrols.
Drugging and driving, all of that stuff.
We are doing impact details, saturation patrols. So
we're working, and like I said, I've got guys who love this job, and they are working their butts off. So we're thankful for them.
Absolutely. So good deal. Well, I think we're going to talk to you again right between Christmas and New Year's here.
So I like to be
Merry
here for
Christmas to you guys.
Merry Christmas
I don't know if you're going to be on the beat that day or not, but probably.
Absolutely.
Probably. I don't know if you're like, hey, you're the boss. You can take that day off.
People ask, and I just tell them, we only work 8 days a week, 25 hours a day.
That's right.
I figure if the guy does a schedule, you can work your own day off.
But the easiest thing about that is we love this job.
Yeah.
So we're not going to work.
Yeah. You're doing it for the love of the job.
We absolutely.
And the community.
Yeah.
That's my deal. The
get
job
to enjoy
is
people. And
well, we appreciate you guys, because not everybody can do that.
Well, we try to make every event we can.
Yeah. You guys are everywhere.
We're everywhere.
I'm pretty sure. I'm just saying. I know that
you ever
movie.
seen the movie Multiplicity?
That's what I'm saying. There's a couple Charles and a couple Mike sitting in a basement somewhere in the county building.
They better be in the office right now getting their work done, right?
Number 3's on that.
That's right.
All right.
Thank you guys. Merry Christmas.
Folks, once again, if you know of a crime that's been committed or is about to be committed, or if you have any information, please contact Chaves County Crime Stoppers or the Chaves County Sheriff's Office at 624-6500.
Could be handsomely rewarded for your information.
Absolutely. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Christmas money, Christmas shopping. Absolutely.
Have a great Friday.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
8:57.